Hello, everybody. My name is Akita Akari Aurora. This is Spirit Prescriptions on YouTube, and this is also your RUMI Roundtable. This is the last section of this beautiful roundtable, the last set of triplets in this circle of 12. Well, actually, it was a circle of 13 within, well, a circle of 12 with a beautiful 13th card in the middle. If you didn't see that one, you can go back to the channel, and it's the main video. It has a collective message. All right, so this video will hold Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, our last three zodiac signs. So let's get into it. I'm reading from the deck RUMI Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild, and it is an invitation into the heart of the divine. So it's really heart-to-heart messages, and I'm going straight into the book, reading straight from the book for each sign, so you can figure out that resonance for yourself. If I have any synchronicities or anything to share, I will plug in my edits and my contributions, as well as we're going to use the deck Elqui and accompany each of the RUMI messages with an Elqui message, because the Elqui cards allow us to go a little bit deeper into thought, as well as, there might be some subconscious stuff in our subconscious mind that we need to clear out, some contemplation as well as self-reflection. And each card gives us three questions to really dig into. So today's the summer solstice. It's now the evening, and we're at the cross point or the crossroads, right, of this 222, this wonderful year of 2022. We've gone through the first 6 months. Now we got the next 6 months to go through. We've activated and released and transformed and transmutated and called in and rebirthed ourselves and manifested. And now it's time for us to truly step into our new selves, right? Start that new path. So with all of this transformation and expansion and releasing and birthing and dying, let's get a message from the heart to our hearts, so our hearts can continue to expand and allow all of the new stuff that we need and we've been asking for to come on in. And as we experience this next 6 months, what we have asked for is coming. So remember, when it shows up, that you are ready for it. Okay. All right. So the first one we're going to do is Capricorn. And let's see what card that is. And this crystal on the Capricorn card is this beautiful crystal that I have. And it's a combination of aventurine. It's a beautiful green crystal, combination of aventurine, citrine, onyx, and yeah, I think those three ones. Yeah. No, tourmaline. Yeah, tourmaline, onyx, aventurine, and citrine. So it's a really nice crystal. It's one of my favorite ones. I start to really like the mixed crystals, All right, so Capricorn, all of those are for you. All right, and your message from RUMI is, let love transform. Feels like a nice, soft, beautiful message with the cards. Very loving and nurturing energy from that card already. I'm picking up. All right, let's see what RUMI says to you, Capricorns. And it's number 14. So 1 and 4 is 5. 5 again is that center spot where we expand, right? So we come into balance and stillness, and we expand from there. Just like the sun, we're able to give as well as receive. And what we give nurtures and comforts and energy, amplifies, activates, right? We give off energy, others receive that. All right. There's a word that I want to say, but it's not coming to me, but energy sums it up. All right, let's go into the book. Capricorn, let love transform you, I would think. All right, Capricorn, number 14. All right, the message is, or the poem is, Rumi's message is, the spring of love arrives. Well, interestingly, we're in summer, but it's the spring of love. So summer could be the spring of love. The spring of love arrives sorry, to transform the dust into a garden. The call is heard from the heavens to bid the wings of soul to fly. Make sure you guys are seeing that. Yeah. The sea becomes filled with pearls. The dry land receives the water of life. The stone becomes a ruby, and the body becomes a soul. Beautiful message, Rumi. Love is my medicine, intelligent medicine. It takes death and makes it a passageway into greater life. What genius is this? A genius that will render anything and everything as a pathway to life. I have found a bench upon which we may be seated. Nay, not a bench, a love seat. It is carved of precious ruby. It sits under the gentle shade of an ancient tree that thrives in love's garden. Come sit with me, beloved, as we let the whispers of the great beloved penetrate our hollowed ears, carried upon the sweet afternoon breeze. As the sun begins to set, the colors become vibrant. Even if we are deaf to the beloved's tender whispers, we shall not be blind. We shall be captured by the vivid display of the beloved's artistry and be transported into peace. All right, coming into form, allowing love really, and beauty. That's what this essence of beauty, allowing the nature of love and the nature of nature, which is beauty, to allow your transformation. So it's almost like allowing your heart to receive in order to be transformed. That's what I'm getting from that message. Yeah, trust the transformation. Allow the transformations through love and gentle and nurturance. Let's get deeper into the message. This oracle comes to you as a living spiritual gift. Whether you realize it or not, you have triumphed. You have blossomed, succeeded, cast aside that which was unworthy, and taken up love's way. How much delight there is from all those that walk this way of love, of life, to find another precious companion in their midst. You are welcomed into this world where love finds a way. There is nothing impossible for love. It is not bound by the mind, and because of this, all manner of miraculous grace works through it in endless creative variety. The great beloved is a show-off, creating with such genius as to be breathtaking. Were we able to remain always in the heart, we would be constantly breathless, in a fit of appreciation and awe so great, truly there would not be even a slither of emptiness through which fear could enter. Yeah, it's like really, we call it in shamanism, taking the walk of beauty, where you're truly able to see the beauty in everything, every moment, everybody, and that triumphs over everything else. Yeah, it's a beautiful mindset or heart space to be in. What does this mean? It means an avenue for divine fulfillment has been found. You are being given the power for spiritual success. Your heart's yearning shall manifest itself, but you must comply according to the law of love. What does that mean exactly? Do not attach yourself to the form that your resolution and success shall take. Why would we seek to limit love's creative genius thus? No. Instead, trust that it will be magnificent, perfection, literally the work of great genius. And perfection is always imperfect. Perfection is acceptance almost, you know, perfection is fullness, yeah, and acceptance, because it's not perfect because it's perfect. It's perfect because of our appreciation and love and our perspective, you know. So again, we're filled with the eyes of beauty and we see the beauty in everything, so it's perfect, you know. Detach yourself from expectations of timing. The harvest will be at the best time, and when the ripens is just right, when the ripeness is just right. So utterly juicy and sweet, you shall know with certainty that this was the best way. Not a moment sooner would have been perfect, nor a moment later. Absolute trust is the best way to adhere to the law of love, divine order and divine timing, trusting the process. This gives you rather some energy to spare, perhaps that might have otherwise been engaged in perpetuating worry or doubt. Yeah, yeah. Well, I am happy. I am so happy to see that you are twiddling your divine thumbs and wondering if you are not going to worry, if you are just going to surrender and trust. Yeah. Then what exactly will you do with yourself? Well, of course, you can just live your life. But perhaps you may want to dance barefoot and wild with me upon the cool sand at midnight under the fullness of the harvest moon. Ashe, congratulations, Capricorn. You're living the life of surrender, trust, serenity, and peace. And that is what the second half of 222 has for you. If you haven't accessed it already, all of the work that you've been doing is inviting you to truly trust that you've reached your spot, you know, you're on your path and you can surrender and enjoy. And when you surrender, you again, a lot of these messages were about stepping away from having to control everything. And I guess it's invitation from the divine heart. So I guess in the divine heart, there is no I control it all. You know what I mean? It's really trusting all and loving all and seeing, you know, through that perspective, and taking that a higher view, as well as that more open, expansive view, higher from this way or that way, but it's more of the wider view, not even the higher view, but the wider perspective. So I didn't say this at the beginning, but each of these messages has a sacred honoring ritual. If you want to, just leave a message in the comment section and I will get it to you. Ask and you shall receive. I don't want the messages to go too long since I'm putting 3 messages in each video. So just to cut down on the space, you know, I'm not going to read out the ritual, but if you want it, let me know, send me a message and I will send it to you. Okay, so now let's go into the Elqui deck, Capricorns, and see what message accompanies this love, being transformed by love, right? To accompany this walk of the second half of 222 for you, to make that walk a little more beautiful. All right, and we have Valencia, she who stands resolute, implacable, and determined. Now, ain't that a match for Capricorn? Determined. That's one of your energies, Capricorn. Very determined individual. Implacable. Is it implacable or implaceable? Implacable. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. And resolute. Absolutely beautiful pair. Yeah, let's bring them in. Working with this Zoom is always, it's new. So it's a challenge in the mirror effect. All right, so there are the cards. Okay, so let's read what Miss Valencia has to say. But Capricorns, I think you know this because it's already that determination energy, which is your energy already. And Valencia, she must be the last one in the book. No, actually, it's more. Okay, resolute, implacable, implacable, determined. Valencia, she who stands, embodies the spirit of resoluteness. Her hair is tied back, revealing the determination in her face. Her bloodied sword rests in her hands. She is not holding it to defend herself. Instead, she clutches it to support herself after a hard-won fight. Part of her would like to run, but the stronger part insists she hold her ground. The fierce, tusked skull on her right shoulder reminds her it is wiser to fortify her position. Those who would call her implacable would not be wrong. The message of this card is to stand your ground. The thing you've been working so hard to obtain will be in your possession soon, Capricorn. Do not give in to the urge to give up. Let this card serve as a reminder of your own resolution. Acknowledge where you've been. Look at where you are now. Tie your hair back, roll up your sleeves. Now you must prove you have earned this spot. You will not be put aside easily. This moment will determine your own strength of will. Do not waver. Look them in the eye. Hold their gaze. Show them your implacable stance. How do I underestimate myself? These are your 3 questions, Capricorn. How do I underestimate myself? How can I best fortify my current position? And in what ways am I resolute? Ashe. So tapping into your energy, Capricorn, continue to be you. Yeah, continue to be you. Continue to strive and go for what you are going for in life. I think the only invitation that they're giving you here is to just enjoy it a little bit more. You know what I mean? And allow love, like literally let love transform you, that softening, and step into it like you have everything. You have is this combination of heart and determination. Yeah, and that's a good balance to have it. So don't, like, you're hardworking, but don't forget about love. Like love is a real thing. And, don't like just don't go for the material aspect of it. Don't forget about love. Like that's all. It's like don't forget about love. That we can be very determined and very A B C D E F G, and 1 2 3 4 5 6, and we get to enjoy the sun and just relax and listen to the music and take a long drive and just enjoy the sound of the ocean or just the trees, to take that breath and to we in your determination, don't forget about that aspect of love, in your work and on your projects and in the relationships. Look into your relationships and are you loving, are you loving yourself? Are you loving others? All of those little questions, because sometimes we can overlook, we get so into the tedious nature of success that we forget about love. So you're successful, you're determined, you have it all, but don't sacrifice love for your success. you know, allow love to become a really big part of you being and continuing to be a successful Capricorn, because you guys are very determined. Guys and girls are very determined beings, all right? So that is the message. Let love transform you and be resolute, determined, and I want to say impeccable, but that's not the word, but that's the word that's coming into mind, because implacable, implacable. Yeah, you know, stand your ground, but don't forget about that big old heart of yours. Allow yourself to be loved and allow other people to love you. And don't be afraid of love, and don't be afraid of being vulnerable, you know, letting some of those shields down, because Valencia had a sword and a shield to stand her ground, you know, but don't be so fierce. Allow some of that softness. And remember, that's what I was feeling when I first saw this card, like this that softness and nurturing. So it's almost like that mix of, you know, the strength and the softness, the masculine and the feminine, just bringing them all together, right? Okay, Capricorn, that is your advice and divine message for your divine heart. And for the next half of 2022, happy summer solstice. And congratulations, Capricorn. You've been doing a wonderful job, and enjoy it all. All right, let's move on into this one is going to be Aquarius. All right, and let's move that. Aquarius, on your card, I had my beautiful pink tourmaline stone, which is a really interesting stone because tourmaline, I was used to it being black. I didn't even know it came in these beautiful colors, but this is pink tourmaline, and it also has this nice aqua going through it, aqua tangerine, not tangerine, aquamarine, this aquamarine color going through it as well as the pink. So it's a really nice crystal. I love it. Yeah, these ones are mixtures. Like I said, I like these mixture crystals now. I think they're interesting. All right, so let's see what's coming up for Aquarius. Beyond death is life. Ooh, I want to read this because you know, this is like a main topic. And we are in the age of Aquarius. So this message is gonna be perfect. Right. So before we even pull the card, let me say this. I think that before I read, big energy with this whole stepping into this Aquarius is us all changing our perception of death. I think that is like the crack, that the hammer that cracks the bottle, you know, us looking at death with more light, us understanding that death does not end the life cycle, but it is a part of the life cycle, and life continues not in this physicality, but there is a form of life. Life is in the ocean, life is in the earth, life is in the, you know, life is everywhere. Life is in our body, organisms, tissues, all of that is life, you know. And when they're looking for life on other planets, it could be people, but it could be also just a little plant. Signs of life, proof of life, that life can exist, right? Bacteria is life, you know? So death does not end life. Death is a part of the beautiful cycle of life because it's a circle. And with that death, a new form is born. So I think, you know, depending on wherever you are in your consciousness and your spiritual path and your religious beliefs, wherever it is, we all need to expand a little bit in terms of that concept of death. And that expansion truly will bring more light into your experience with death, as well as allowing you to grieve the ones you lose differently, because grieving is very important. But that sting of death, where we feel like that this ends the relationship, the communication, is just not true, you know. So if we want to truly stay in communication with our loved ones, we have to expand our understanding of death. You know, it's a gift that you can give yourself, you know. Truth comes to those who are ready to receive it. So if you're not ready for it, you're not. But if you are, you know, tap into it a little bit and do some research, do some reading, see where it takes you, and learn the beauty that comes in death. Okay, let's see what Rumi has to say about that. That's just my view. Let's see what Rumi has to say about it. And guess what? It is the first card, number 1. Haha, because death is life. Well, beyond death is life. So let's see. It's where Rumi has started. So let's see. And that's interesting that he started the book with Beyond Death Life. Footprints lead to the shore of the sea. Beyond that point, no trace remains. Rumi. I am calling to you. Can you hear me? Listen. Within your heart, there I speak. My voice rings true. You are urged beyond what has been. The time has come. Lay it to rest now. This ending comes as grace to free you from all that you have known. For what you have known is now too small for your soul. This is a message of Aquarius, for Aquarius and the age of Aquarius. Bear your uncertainty with equanimity. I am certain enough for both of us. Allow me to show you the light you are. That burns within you, blazing angel of heavenly purity. I will unveil you to yourself, undressing your ego, casting aside its layers, as tender as a lover with unwavering attention upon the sacred body of light. You shall know yourself in truth. As pure, beyond all experience, untainted, ever innocent, as a pure vessel stripped bare, ready for the divine revelation, as light, as life, as love. Isn't that beautiful? The soul craves variety because it leads to wholeness. And wholeness leads to divine revelation. The purpose of the soul incarnating in this world in the first place is to realize its divinity through the sacred crucible of life. The older the soul, the closer it is to the realization of divine oneness. And the more powerful its determination to shed that which would constrain complete and conscious immersion into the divine presence. So here you are, Aquarius, an old soul at the age of something you have known, at the cusp of an ending and a beginning. Perhaps you are already in surrender and falling in, or perhaps you are fearful and resisting as you greet your unknown destiny. Yet this moment is happening because your own divine soul has chosen for it to be this way, so that love may grow. There is no punishment in this ending, nor is there anything to fear. There may be pain, there may be grief and loss. There may be uncertainty and even insecurity. Yet you have a heart big enough to bear such growing pains. Your heart is even big enough to receive the joy that is lying in wait for you as you stumble across her in the course of your destiny. Oh, where did I go just now? Course of your destiny. How do you lose a line so quickly? I will reread it because I'll end up probably rereading it. Yet you have a heart big enough to bear such growing pains. Your heart is even big enough to receive the joy that is lying in wait for you as you stumble across her in the course of your clumsy, inspired trials into new life. You can scoop her up in your arms and spin her wildly about as she delights in your embrace, throwing her head back and laughing her vibrant, contagious laughter, filling you with exquisite ecstasy. Yes, you shall know the truth, the knowledge that the divine is with you, guiding every unfolding moment of your life's journey. No matter how dark it may first appear, the divine is with you in unflinching generosity, with compassion and with fierce passion for your blossoming into all that you are and all that you can be. I feel like I left a line out. No, I didn't. Okay. All right, I want you to get all the messages, Aquarius, because this is a beautiful message. And it's very, very synchronistic for this time that we are in, looking at death and truly understanding that it's not an end point, and also allowing us to realize that we must die. It doesn't have to be a physical death, but in death, allowing death and being comfortable with death, meaning letting go things, letting a portion of you die, that there is much to be rebirthed and something new forms. And in that new form, we might not know, what it's going to be and how it's going to be and how it's going to look, but we trust it. We do trust it. So, what must you do to receive this divine grace, this new life? You must be willing to face death. It may be that death has come to you in the form of a loss of a beloved one, a physical loss that takes you into the darkest despair or depths of your grieving heart. It may be death that comes to you in the ending of a financial or professional situation you once relied upon. It could also be in the sense that you don't really know who you are anymore. Old identities having shown themselves to be inadequate, inaccurate, mere ego mask, too small for the great being that you are starting to suspect you may be. And that's really what this whole reset, reawakening season is, allowing us to let the old self die and allow the new self to be rebirthed. We see it all around us. You see how much the world is changing. That is for the age of Aquarius. All of this death, people death, institutional death, conscious death, ideology death, like all of this death, this change, allowing the new things to be reborn and rebirthed, and that's the age of Aquarius. The ending of an age, the death of an age. That's why they keep on saying the end of the world is coming. It is. The end of the old world is coming, but that also means that the new world is birthing, and it doesn't have to be one person's new world. It could be whatever new world you have decided that you want to experience for yourself. And that is the biggest part of it too. You decide for yourself what you're going to be in this new world. Don't let anybody decide that for you. Okay, Aquarius, I think you know that, but this is a beautiful message for our Aquarius hearts, just encouraging us to continue to die so that we can be reborn and ready for this new age of Aquarius that we are finding ourselves in. And we decided to come here and be here in this time. So you're ready for it, and you got everything it takes to be in this new age. So don't let the transformation and the door of death, the season of death that we're in, scare you or be afraid of it, because it is the door that we must walk through for the rebirthing. It's like, again, the child in the womb. You got to come out the womb, or you just stay in there, at some point, that 9 months, and it's like, psh, I'm out of here, So, and then new experience begins, and then some people like me can't wait. We're like, 9 months now, let's go. I'm ready now. All right, so let's continue reading this beautiful message, Aquarius, for you, Aquarius. Your death may be a choice to let go, to take a step in a new direction, to move house, to end a relationship, to change career, or to step away from a religious or philosophical tradition or group or teacher. Your death may feel as though it has come by choice at all. Your death may not feel as though it has come by your choice at all. It may be a sickness that leaves you feeling helpless, a relationship or other life circumstances changing when you wish with all your heart that it would not. Yeah, sometimes we do not welcome change, but trust change. Change is always necessary, and it always delivers us into the better aspect and timeline. So it's like we're fighting that next best thing that we are destined to experience, fighting our own destiny when we fight change. It may be a sickness that leaves you feeling helpless, a relationship or other life circumstance changing when you wish with all your heart it would not. Your transition through this death may be triggered by an inner feeling that you cannot quite pin down. Nonetheless, it powerfully propels you away from what has been and towards untapped possibilities, perhaps even towards great confusion as you encounter life in a new way, feeling even somewhat unprepared and uncertain as to what may lie ahead of you now. How you deal with this grace, hidden through it, may at first appear to be under the cloak of crisis, is up to you. I'm loving that he is actually connecting the death of something with having grace in your life, because we tend to go into, oh, why me, or this is not fair, and that's why it's so important to be thankful for all moments, even if you don't like it, but to speak that thankfulness for it and for the transformation that is going to bring you, because with the expanded view, and at the end of the journey, what you thought was a curse was actually a moment of grace, allowing you to exit something and enter something much better, or just more aligned, or something, the next best thing for yourself. So I love that connection of death being truly grace. Again, it's we must give death a new lens. You have enough spiritual intelligence to shift perspective and to choose, if you wish, to rest your inner gaze upon lies beyond death. I'll read that again. You have enough spiritual intelligence to shift perspective and to choose, if you wish, to rest your inner gaze upon what lies beyond the death. Gaze instead upon the new life that is calling you. When you know deep within that no matter what experiences you have had in your life, that you are untainted, you will be more easily able to trust in the love the divine has for you. Yes. You won't question your worthiness, and therefore you will trust in life more easily and more fully, no matter how much it asks of you at times. The divine is a relentless lover. It wants nothing less than your total being to be held in its embrace. Sometimes that means we will have to give up lesser loves for the greater love, the divine one that calls us to remember our true nature. You know what's coming into my mind, like when you read about, is it, they call it, is it Lower Egypt? And then the other Egypt, and it's like, so that's what's coming into mind, like we let go of the lower one to step into the higher self again, like our lower body. We clear through our lower chakras to step into the higher chakras. You know, we do a lot of clearing through 1, 2, 3, just to act. I mean, 4 is the middle one, to live through really 4, 5, and 6, speaking into our existence, using our third eye and our crown, you know. So it's always about releasing the lower to truly access the higher self. And that's always, that's continuous, like that is the cycle of life, you know, the reincarnation of ourselves. We release the, even in death, what are we doing? We're releasing the physical body. We are stepping back into our energy self of just spirit or just soul. I'm not 100% sure about that distinction yet, but we step back into our, I think our soul, because the spirit, I think, is more of our ancestry and our emotions. So we step back into our soul. So even in death, we are releasing the lower self and we were joining back into our higher self, right? And the soul and our soul body, right? But then again, when in reincarnation, we decide, okay, I'm going back into the body, onto the earth, to have a different experience with life. Okay, so yeah, gaze instead upon the new life that is calling you. When you know deeply within that no matter what experience you have had in your life, that you are untainted. I read that already. Yeah, okay, so last paragraph. You are a beautiful blazing soul having a human experience that defies explanation and opens you up to divinity. That is what is happening in your life now. Whether the death is obvious and painful to you, or whether you are uncertain as to how it is as yet showing up in your life. Either way, there is an ending imminent, Aquarius, and a new life coming to you with greater opportunity for your radiant soul to shine its beauty in the world. Grasp it eagerly, beloved. Now is not the time for fear nor hesitation. Focus on what is becoming, whilst honoring what is no longer to be. That's a beautiful message for all of us. Thank you, Aquarius. That is the message for this season. I mean, again, the summer solstice, you know, stepping into a whole new cycle of the next, you know, the next half of 2022 and beyond. But this is it. This is what we all have to grasp: the death, and accept death in all of its forms, and honor it. Give ourselves that grieving time, but honor it as opposed to fearing it, right? And knowing the moment of grace that truly is upon us when we have to allow things in our life to die. So let's see what accompanying message is coming with that beautiful message. It is she who avenges nemesis. So that's an interesting twist. Revenge, outcomes, and justice. Let me put these two together. Life, death, and vengeance. Okay, Aquarius, let's go. Let us go. Let's read into this. She who avenges. All right, Aquarius. And you know what comes into mind? Yeah, it's like we're moving through this moment, right? We're stepping in, preparing into the age of Aquarius with all of these cycles and portals and all of that. We're preparing for the end of the Pisces age and stepping into the Aquarius age. Some people say it's already started. You know, it's really where your mind is at, right? No such thing as time. It's about your consciousness. So some of us are already there, right? But then it's like this vengeance, right? And like setting the record, or like the first shall be the last shall be the first, almost like setting it straight, or um the win almost like the winner must come, you know what I mean, or we must get justice for what we were wronged for. But really, in the age of Aquarius is the settling of all odds and all bets, if that makes sense to you. Because it's like the one who wins is the one who has peace, is the one who has wholeness, is the one who is in balance. So like this is this energy of vengeance and justice, revenge, outcomes, as we go into the age of Aquarius. So as we like, what's the vengeance and justice and death? And we just learned that death is grace. You know what I mean? And sometimes we be like, the wages of sin is death. Well, really? It makes you kind of look at that scripture again. Is the wage of sin really death? And then the death of what? The death of your wholeness, and that's why they could talk about the walking dead, because a lot of us are walking around dead already because we're not truly walking around as whole people. All right. So yeah, that just came in just now. So let's get into this revenge card. Let's see what you're doing, Aquarius. Let's see. You're looking for some revenge? Come into balance. That's enough revenge. It's like sometimes it's like, my success is enough, like if you think you have an axe to grind, just watch me be successful, and that will settle it. I don't have to say anything, just be successful. All right, Nemesis, let's see with Miss Nemesis, what message Miss Nemesis has for us. Interesting card. Before I even read it, I want to see how those two messages tie in together. Nemesis. Let's be right here. Yeah. Okay. Nemesis, and she has on purple pants, purple skirt. She's in a book, and she got some cards on the floor, a mask, and look like she has a shot of brandy in her hand. Don't mess with Nemesis. She ready for you. All right, she knows her stuff, okay? And she ain't scared. So let's look. Nemesis, she who avenges, teaches a powerful lesson. Fight poison with poison, and both sides will lose. Revenge may seem the best answer, but carefully consider the outcome. Yeah. How much of yourself are you willing to lose when you lose when faced with someone who has set themselves against you? Even if you wear a mask, you cannot hide from your own actions. Nemesis is the inescapable one who exacts retribution from those who would set themselves above the higher powers. This Nemesis card serves as a caution when drawn. Yeah, because and I'm thinking more of the whole age of Aquarius and just where we are right now, Aquarians. A lot of people looking out for revenge, and it's still this energy of resistance and fighting and anger. And again, the enemy, like an enemy might be there, but if you're in an enemy energy, then you're still in fight mode, that type of way. So it's like we got to get out of fight mode. You really do. And it doesn't mean that you got to be happy with everything and, and head in the sand. But no, we can find a way to resolve and to come into wholeness of the situation, not just wholeness of yourself, without going through those old patriarchal ways of war, anger, hate, and revenge. So it's interesting because again, we're learning again through this whole shift from Pisces to Aquarius how to let these old ways of being die. That's how this is tied into it. Yeah, we have to allow the death of this needing revenge. Yeah, to step in, truly to step into our powers and wholeness. What people have done, they're gonna have to deal with it themselves. You know what I mean? Well, that's the aspect that I take on to it. If somebody did something to me, trust me, they're gonna have to pay for it. Not by means of me doing anything, but karma will get them. Their own karma is going to get them. That's life, the boomerang effect. So we don't have to mess up ourselves and muddy up ourselves in order to get revenge or seek revenge. Trust the universe. They'll get them and it'll be well deserved. So you don't got to do nothing. All right. Nemesis asks you to check your motives. Does your need for retribution lead you into a place you may not wish to be? If you have already made a bad choice, don't despair. There isn't anyone who can claim to have never made a poor decision. Moving forward, think about the consequences of your choices. Should your need for punishment fall within the legal purview, let those sworn to justice take over. Do not take matters into your own hands. This is a case of calling on justice and stepping back to let the cards fall where they may. Set up firm boundaries to include whatever mistakes you feel. Set up firm boundaries to include whatever makes you feel safe. Then let justice prevail. Ashe. Yep. And your questions, Aquarius. Why am I called to this action? So when you're thinking like, okay, I need to get into this, think, why do I think I need to do this? And that whole self-observation, contemplation with any emotion is such a good teacher. Like when we in these trigger moments, before you act, sit and ask that same question. Why am I called to this action? Or why am I feeling like this? We learn so much in those moments. Just observe yourself, and yourself will truly show you what it's all about. And it's never about anybody else. It's always about something going on within you. Second question, how important is it? Yeah, is it worth it? Is it worth your anger? Is it worth your peace? Is it worth your imbalance? Is it worth your safety? Because sometimes, we get so angry and unbalanced about things, we put ourselves in danger, trying to set something right or correct somebody else's actions. And the last question, how will I harm myself by taking revenge? Yeah, don't be self-destructive. Okay, Aquarius, beautiful messages and very deep and very collective and very synchronistic for this time of the age of Aquarius that we are all preparing for, stepping into, allowing, transforming and transmuting for reawakening and resetting. All right, so beautiful message for you, Aquarius. Give yourself a new lens on death and remain in your true, authentic self when it comes to justice and revenge. Don't lose yourself. Don't sacrifice yourself in order to get back at somebody, you know, where you felt you were wrong. Set up those boundaries and let nature take its course. You stay high. That's like that's like the message of the angel cards in the other decks. It's like, you know, even though it's like revenge and nemesis, like that energy, um the angel, the concept of an angel, the essence of an angel is that you stay high. You don't have to go down low to fix everything. You stay in that higher perspective. So tap when you feel like being the nemesis, be the angelic aspect of yourself, you know, tap into your higher self and let that higher light and higher perspective come down onto you. Um, you know, as opposed to jumping into revenge and the get back. Okay, that's a beautiful message. And that's why, hey, 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 the tourmaline protection stone. Aha. Right? Get you some tourmaline too, Aquarius, right? So when these moments come, you can truly tap into your higher self, right? No need to go low. No need to go low. All right. That's your message, Aquarius. Have a wonderful solstice and a wonderful next 6 months, you know, and beyond. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, the next card and the last card, Pisces, always saving the best for last. Pisces, you get that because you will. I always pull it as the last card, the last reading. So we'll just have to call you the best. But we're also shifting out of, just like I was talking in that last one, right? We're preparing for the age of Aquarius, right? But we are letting go of the age of the Pisces. So this message, sacred Phoenix heart. Number 21, number 3, the opposite of 12 or the inverse of 12. All right, 12, 21, the energy of 3. All right, Pisces, let's get into it. So the Pisces that we're letting die, those ashes, now rising Phoenix, our hearts are rising out of the Pisces era. Yes. And that's that death. You know, if I did a collective message, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. Put all of these cards on the deck and pull out the collective message. Maybe, maybe not. But I'm just connecting those last two messages. The Phoenix is rising out of the Pisces and truly allowing that death rebirth moment for the age of Aquarius. All right. It's on the board. It is on the boards. All right, let's get into this. Sacred Phoenix heart, number 21. And rose quartz crystal. All right, so tap into your sacred hearts, Pisces, for allowing all of this transformation that's needed for us stepping into the age of Aquarius, right? And this new half of 2022, the second half of 2022. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see what RUMI says. What guidance is RUMI giving us? Number 21. And I said, like I said, this is the last message. If you want the ritual, just leave a comment and I will get it to you. Ask and you shall receive. Just to keep the length of the videos down, I'm not reading the rituals in each card has a ritual, but I won't read it just to keep the length of these messages down because RUMI is deep and you know some of these are like 3-page messages descriptions. So yeah, so I don't want to be here all night. Okay, well this is the last one. All right, so Pisces, Sacred Heart Phoenix. Sacred Phoenix heart. Under the cover of blood, love veils many rose gardens. Deep message. In total faith, love tenderly guides every lover to the garden of the heart. Reason says the world is limited in 6 directions. there is no way out. Love says there is a way, and I have traveled it many times. Rumi. So much depth in that one. All right. How I adore your defiant, rebellious heart. It knows that what for the mind is an end. Okay, let's start again. How I adore your defiant, rebellion heart. It knows that what for the mind is an end is for the heart simply another match to ignite the sacred flames, life, death. It eats of love until it is filled and then becomes hungry again and eats some more, and again and again. It eats of love until it is so full, it must simply explode into a sacred fire of passion. It bursts, incapable of sustaining old consciousness in the expanse of blessings, unlimited, lavished upon it through the great beloved's affection. It would be like attempting to fit an ocean in a teacup. So it does not. It burst forth like a dying star. Into spectacular radiance, only to be reborn again. There it is. New and hungry for the next feeding frenzy in love's great banquet. How I adore your defiant, spectacular heart. So like, again, this is really connected to the Aquarius message of death and rebirth. And being like in that new flame, being so eager and radiant and vibrant, and we can't contain ourselves in the small cups anymore, but we have to allow ourselves to be this magnificent energy, radiant and magnificent. Love guides us through trials that seem improbable, if not impossible. It does not shy away from any challenge, from any cause. It cannot. It is just love's way. Love says to us, there is always another way. You are receiving this guidance now. So no limits, when things look like a dead end, nope. Go turn around. There's the next corner someplace. Options are always there. I remember during 2020 or 2021, I was having a discussion with somebody and they said, but these people don't have any options. And I said, well, as soon as you say that, you don't have an option, but there's always an options. So if you think you don't have any options, you don't have any options. But if you know, okay, I have options, maybe I don't want to use those options or whatnot, and I choose not to use those options, but we always have options, always. Love guides us. Okay, I read that already. Perhaps you are scratching your head quizzically or are in deepest despair because you appear to have met a dead end and frowning no, or a dismissive laugh upon your quest to bring love alive. So then, do you choose to be in love or in death of sorts your heart faces? Your heart shall rally. I choose death because that is the portal to new life. And so it is wise, you see, but you must be brave to be burned in love, by love, for love. Yeah, love is a little scary, right? We have to be vulnerable. We have to allow the process to be, right? We can't stay safe in love. You really can't. Um, to be burned in love, by love, for love, will involve endurance of pain, but it will also place it in context. It is the shorter pain that is not compounded by erroneous thinking. That pain comes and goes quite quickly when you realize that love is simply playfully smacking your wrist and saying, "Not that way, beloved." There are great pitfalls on that path. Come take this one, where there shall be wine and dancing. Rumi really liked wine. He mentions wine a lot and dancing. Great aspect, great perspective on life, really. Don't forget to dance and always drink wine. So you are guided to accept the closed doors, the death, the pain, and to let it become tinder for your fire. Cry whatever tears need to be cried so your tinder can be dry and ready to create the sparks your heart needs. That sacred phoenix ready to die into life within you is hungry for the fire. Let it feast so it can fulfill its potential, its divine destiny, and become born again into new form, more divinely aligned and alive than ever before. The oracle comes with a message for you. You may feel as though you have been wandering in a desert for many years with no oasis in sight. You might have been through darkness, through trials, enduring confusion and uncertainty as you sought for your truth, sought divine revelation, and sought your purpose to confirm your plans. Seek no more. Their answers are now given. Or very soon will be. And the life, the passion, the purpose, it will all come to you in clarity. Wonderful. I love clarity. Does life need to be grasped for? It is bestowed according to grace and destiny. It need not be sought so much as received. The spiritual destiny that calls your soul, even whilst you may feel your bodily ears are deaf to the call, makes your heart leap. It is though hearing the beloved's voice and stirring an ancient memory of love so powerful moves you, even without your necessarily understanding how or why. So let life come to you. Be prepared to let the old version of your life pass away into the new life, now being born. What does this mean? It means letting go of your striving, your opinions, your doubts, your despair, and your fears. Life wants to happen through you, blazing angel. You don't have to do much other than get out of your own way. Love is your nature. Let it flourish and life shall unfold accordingly. The oracle brings a particular message regarding divine timing, that oh so significant factor in our dreams coming to life. Your time is fast approaching. It may even be now. It may seem least likely to you. There may be great darkness or confusion, and yet the unveiling of the new dawn is closest to the deepest, darkest of night. Do not turn back or away from your progress. Your very next step shall be upon hallowed ground, rendered golden by the rays of the rising sun. Ashe, ashe. So again, age of Pisces, Pisces sign, truly allowing this death and rebirth and you rising like the phoenix, not being afraid. I walk through the valley of death. No, I fear nothing. Okay. So it's truly that message of being able to be transformed and trusting the new path. and not being afraid of the fires that really come to us to transform us into this new era that we are going to experience or already experiencing consciously through the deaths of our old selves, our old doubts, beliefs, thinking, criticisms, fears, all of that. All of it must die to rise up into our expanded hearts. You know, beautiful message. It's where we're at. It is the energy, the initiation of the season, allowing death to rise, allowing a death so the new form of ourselves can rise internally, externally, collectively, individually, country, nation, everybody. Everybody. All right. And the last card. She who is wild, savage, untamed, wild, and mysterious. Perfect partner for your Phoenix heart, right? Ride that fire, blazing one. Blaze through it, Phoenix. Blaze through it and rise. I love that. Let's go. Last card. She who is wild, savage, untamed, wild, and mysterious. Oh, and I don't know if you guys can see this beautiful purple ravens. Oh, the light might not be good, but oh, so beautiful. I love it. And that was 21. Let's see. Oh, wrong deck, wrong book. Savage. Not savage, savage. All right. She must be French. Yes, it is a French book. Savage. All right. She who is wild casts a spell to change her into her most untamed self. She is caught up in the whirlwind, taking her into the wildness of her inner soul. Cords connect her to the pendulum, one of her tools for exploring her true nature. Y'all know I got a pendulum right here. I'm just like, I actually had it in the middle of the deck. I probably put it in my, oh, I got two, but anyway, because my hands are full. I'm not bringing out my pendulum. All right. Anyway, her two crow companions, oh, they're crows. Her two crow companions flutter by her as they watch the mystery unfold. And the crow symbolizes the wisdom from the grandmothers, you know, our ancient wisdom coming back. And it's like the wisdom knows that you're gonna be all right, you know, that we got this. Yeah. So they observe because they know. Her two crow companions flutter by her as they watch the mystery unfold. Savage turns from light to dark, then back again because she knows the power in being both and neither. Here is the primitive pattern of her authentic self. Her eyes are closed to better hear the voice of the universe calling her back to her indigenous roots. Yes, as I said, that ancient wisdom. The only person who can stop Savage is herself. And I love that she's using the spell on herself to transform herself, you know, and not trying to control other people. The message of this card is to examine what makes you feel tame and predictable. Now commit to doing one unexpected act each day. Think of it as random acts of authenticity. Monitor the reactions of those in your inner circle. Some will be your corvid flight mates, while others may need to be gently moved further away. Only those who can support you in your arcane fancies need to be maintained. Your best answer to the current situation is to let them know you are a magical wild thing. And that's a huge message because in this age of transformation, reawakening, resetting, allowing things to die, allowing yourself to be reborn and rebirthed into who serves you and how you want to serve yourself as well as the others in the world in a balanced and harmonious way. We might lose some friends and some family members, but it's okay because you don't want relationships and friendships that don't get your back, are not gonna continue to empower you as well as support you. You want a team. It's like a basketball team and your team members like hating on you. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, so bring your team together, but make sure your team, they're not like throwing darts at your back or jealous or vengeful or, or really not able to hold you or, reciprocate your energy even sometimes. Sometimes we just have to realize like, okay, yeah, I don't need this person and this person doesn't need me. And allow those relationships to die. It doesn't mean that at some point that you weren't like that, didn't have that bond. But life is it's marriages. That's why marriages end. People and grow into new versions of themselves. And sometimes the friendship you had in high school is not going to be the friendship you're going to have as an adult, or the friendship you had in college is not going to serve you, in your marriage relationship, or the friends you had before COVID is serving you during COVID or after COVID. It could be just that real, because as we transform, the people around us and the people who we want around us and the people who can support our transformation and respect our rebirthing are not going to be the same because we just changed. So we got to find new friends and new team members and let it be an enjoyable process. It doesn't mean you got to be having a problem or issue with, the old friends. You just grew apart, and there's nothing wrong with growing apart, especially when you're growing into your better self. Leave what is meant to be behind in the past and continue to walk forward in your newness. You'll find many new friends to support you in your new spaces, so we have to also allow that as well. Okay. Your best answer to the current situation is to let them know you are a magical, wild thing. I just needed to read that again. And the three questions are, who supports my authenticity? Yep, that's it. If they can't handle, it's like when you become stronger, wiser, wholer, healthier, happier, more abundant, more secure within yourself. If they can't support that, you don't want any of that in your life. Family, friend, wife, husband, child, whatever it is. And like I said, you don't have to excommunicate them or banish them to hell, but you're aware of that, and you put those boundaries and borders up to help to give yourself enough space to be who you are authentically. Second question, what unexpected things can I do today? Right? Not always having to be in routine, allowing yourself to do something different, go with the flow. And where can my magic take me? It's a beautiful experience to explore your magic and see where it can take you. Okay, Pisces, what you know, Pisces? The Pisces, y'all are mystical children. The mystical ones. RUMI, RUMI is a mystic. I wouldn't be surprised if RUMI was a Pisces. These are two beautiful messages. Allow the rebirthing, blaze untamed wild magic. Allow your magic to allow you to transform into the rising phoenix, and when the phoenix rises, it rises to the sun, to the golden path. So again, there's real correlation between the Pisces energy ending that era of Pisces and us rising into the golden era of the Aquarius as the Phoenix with the Sacred Heart. I mean, come on now, tap into your magic, right? Tap into your magic, be extraordinary, be unique, be authentic, you know, find yourself within the burning flames of your life. Ah, this was the Ruby Roundtable. I had an excellent time. It took me a minute to get it out, but I trust in divine timing and divine order. So it's never too late. These cards been in a circle, just soaking up all these crystal energies. And I think it turned out absolutely perfect. And this is the message for the new 6 months of this 2 year 2022 and beyond, you know. And I will be doing them again. I don't know when, but I will definitely, the Rumi Roundtable will definitely be something that I do on a regular basis whenever I am inspired to pull it all together. I hope everybody enjoyed their readings. You know, we all have sun, moon, and rising signs, and we have 12 zodiac signs, and it doesn't always, the message doesn't always mean it's not always just for our sun sign. So take a look around all of the videos and find your moon sign and find your rising sign and see how those three messages bring some balance and a trinity and a nice pyramid for you to rise with as we step into our magnificent, radiant, empowered, wise selves as we prepare for the age of Aquarius and we prepare for everything good and great. All right, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Akita Akari Aurora, and this is Spirit Prescriptions. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful solstice. And see you next time. I'll probably do something on 666, which is going to be on the 24th. So stay tuned for the final 666 message on June 24th, 2006. Bye.